So, Damien, very nice to meet you and have you here in Mexico. From the start of the movie and knowing how your movies have done that, you are very detailed with everything. This movie doesn't seem to be fitting in any other studio than Paramount, because you count the story of the movie. How was working with them?
It was a very lucky experience because this kind of movie. It's not easy to get made, especially these days in Hollywood. So most studios weren't willing to take the risk, and for whatever reason, Paramount decided to support the vision and decided to take the swing. But it's an epic sort of panoramic view of a society going through a sea change, and it's a mix of comedy and tragedy and sort of glamour and grotesquerie. And so as a movie proposition, again, I think it was a very risky undertaking. So I'm just thankful that Paramount let us do it.
What you're talking about is this movie, it seems like a don't movie because all the characters don't seem to be in the track where they're supposed to be. And I think that this happened with the movie. It seems a movie that it's nowadays it's a risk or something that anyone can do. How do you feel making a movie that doesn't fit into the ecosystem of the studios?
On the one hand, you feel the riskiness of it, but I think part of what it was also was that there was a kind of energy when we were making the film that everyone, both cast and crew, who got together to make the film, they all knew that this was a sort of unique experience, that this wasn't the kind of movie that often gets made anymore today. So, people worked harder, I think, than maybe they had ever worked before. All of us just gave everything, because when you're making a movie and you know that it might be, you might not have a chance like this again, you want to leave everything on the field. And I think that was the sort of spirit during the shoot among everyone, both in front of and behind the camera.
As the movie progresses and as the movie, once someone that see a lot of movies, you see the work of Paul Thomas Anderson, you see Martin Scorsese, you see something that seems to be there in the movie. As a filmmaker, what do you watch when you're making a movie, or what seems that the movies that you revisit just to have inspiration?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been a sort of inveterate kind of movie addict my whole life. So I think there's a whole range of movies, both conscious and subconscious, that sort of work their way into this. I would say the films of Fellini were very important to me. Robert Altman, Coppola. I think we looked at a lot, Apocalypse Now a lot, for instance, in terms of the sort of juggling of spectacle and comedy and tragedy, sort of sometimes in one frame. Certainly Scorsese and Paul Thomas Anderson and Tarantino and David O. Russell and I'd say also a lot of the films from the era that the film is set in. The sort of epics of people like Stroheim or Sternberg or Griffith, or King Vidor, these sort of larger-than-life silent epics that just, I would say, kind of expanded the boundaries of the form. The sort of maximalist approach of those movies, I think that was very much the spirit we wanted to try to capture here, where it was all about going for broke and trying to push against the limits of a conventional film.
Thank you very much for attending, and it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.